Good day, collectors and viewers. Social Distance Warrior is back. Today we're going to do an unboxing review of Star Wars Black Series number 18, Darth Plagueis. So Darth Plagueis, for those of you that don't know, is the Sith Lord that trained Darth Sidious, so Emperor Palpatine, and was mentioned first back in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No.
When Palpatine was trying to seduce Anakin over to the dark side, he told him about the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise and explained that there was this Sith Lord, indirectly, he just called him not a Jedi, but indirectly that could found a way to manipulate the midichlorians to create life and also cheat death. And of course, Anakin's, tragedy with his mom and his fear of losing Padme led him on to become Darth Vader as a result. But they actually made an action figure of Darth Plagueis, even though he never had any screen time. He's a great looking figure, and we have him here in front of us, and we're going to look at him now. So this figure was released in 2013 as part of the Black Series wave. So they discontinued the vintage collection, and they went on to this Black Series wave with these very dark card backs, and they're notorious for not being stuck to the card back. They come off the card backs, the plastic, frame around the outside. And this is exactly what's happened to mine as well, which I'm going to show you, and kind of motivated me to do the review. But I also, wanted to have him out here to show you and have him displayed in the collection, free him of his plastic prison. So let's take a look at him. Okay, so here he is on the orange card back. He's number 18 in the wave at the time, 2013. He was a difficult figure to acquire. You didn't find him commonly in the stores. If you did, you got lucky, or you had to order him online. I was lucky enough to find him in store. And you can see the card back there. You can see the depiction of Darth Plagueis. We turn him around to the back. There's a little bio on there as well, if you wanted to read that. Darth Plagueis the Wise, and a nice little picture of him as well, rendition. Okay, what you'll see what I'm talking about with regards to the bubble right here. It's coming off. See that? Yeah, it's nice. I'm gonna have a clean card back. It's not gonna have any damage, but I have a figure. If I wanted to keep him on card, he's not. And a lot of the figures at the time, they'd come from the factory and they'd be taped. But when they initially started dropping, the initial wave of these figures in the stores, you'd find the figure open on the shelf. They'd literally fall off the card backs. I don't know what was happening with the QC with Hasbro at the time, but quality control was not good up to standard, especially if you're, somebody that's trying to collect these on card. You probably have a very difficult time finding one that's stuck on there, that's going to stay on there. Of course, mine was staying on there all these years, and you can see now it's coming off. So we're going to open them up as a result and take a look at him. Okay, so we can see when we remove him off the card back there, he does come with a few accessories. He does have a lightsaber. One thing that's amazing about the Star Wars figures is that they all have their own unique lightsaber hilt, and his is no different. It's a unique hilt, and he comes with a staff as well here, and he does have a mouthpiece that we can put on him once we take him out of the package. So let's get him out of the package and have a look. All right, here he is out of box, Darth Plagueis. And you see I've put the mouthpiece on him as well. So he's got that mouthpiece on. Now to get that mouthpiece on, you're going to have to take his head off, which is on a ball joint. So that's not a problem. But he comes with a cloth robe with the hood. And he does have a staff in his hand as well, and as well as that lightsaber that he comes with. But he's a really cool looking figure. Very reminiscent of the Banking Clan character that was on Attack of the Clones when they were in the Geonosis table talking to Dooku. And he had the round table there of all the other guys. I don't remember the name of the guy, but he's a very similar species. And I used to think that, what if that was Darth Plagueis? But indeed, he was killed by Palpatine prior to. So let's take his accessories off, take his robe off, and see his posability. Okay, so first things first, here's his lightsaber. You can have a close-up look there at the hilt. You can see it's got a unique hilt, like all the other characters in the Star Wars universe, which is really cool. It's got a nice red blade that every Sith Lord has in the Star Wars universe. The all bad guys all have the red blade. And then the next thing we have here is his staff. So he does have his staff plain on the bottom there, and it's got, you know, a little bit of design here on the top. No paint operations on there. It'd be nice if there was some, but nonetheless a cool looking accessory that they threw in there, because they come far and none now. And then if we pick up Darth Plagueis here, bring him up close, we can take a nice close look at him with his robe on first. And you can see he does have his mouthpiece on there. Red eyes. He does look sinister. You can tell he's the Sith Lord. And he's got some, you know, nice paint detailing underneath. We'll take that robe off in a second. Just wanted to show you. He's very tall and slim. Darth Plagueis is. Okay, let's take that robe off. Have a look at him without the robe on. And we'll go from there. So once we remove the robe, we can see his articulation and his design. And the whole character outfit, which is cool. This is a separate piece here too, this chest piece that's sitting over his chest area. He's got a belt. He's got this gold design coming down the pant legs, and he's got these tall, you know, metal designed boots. For all we know, he was, you know, sliced off at the knee, and he's got robotic legs, but you know, that's a story for another day. That's what he looks like from the back. Tall and slim. And we can take a look at his articulation there. The head's on a ball joint. I'll take that mouthpiece off to show you in a sec. Let's just have a look at his arms there. So ball joint here at the shoulders. He does have articulation there at the elbows and at the wrist as well. Okay. And same thing with the other side. Okay. Articulation, fully articulated there. And nothing at the waist here because he's thin. Okay. But down here at the legs, you can see no ball joints. He just has the, you know, standard articulation there, which I think for his design is fine. He'd be a little bit too flimsy if we had ball joints there at the hips. And we move down over here to the knees. We can see the knees are articulated as well there. And of course, he does have a swivel ankle, and you can, you know, I guess attempt to angle it back a little bit, but it doesn't really go that far back. The boot kind of impedes how far back it goes, and go forward a bit. But it's nice to have the option to change his stance a little bit. So that's, you know, a nice depiction of the Sith Lord and mentor, Darth Sidious. And let's pull his head off here just for a second to take that mouthpiece off. So the mouthpiece just sits right over his bottom of his face there. We'll put that head back on to get a nice look at Darth Plagueis. There we go. And there's a nice close-up look of Darth Plagueis the Wise. And again, he came out in 2013. It'd be really nice to see him on a vintage card for sure. I'm sure there's a lot of people that weren't collecting at the time or that missed out and would like to have this character. And, you know, if we're lucky, they'll release him again. Or maybe we'll get some, you know, Star Wars lore or movie or TV show with a little backstory on Darth Sidious, and we'd have Darth Plagueis in there as well. So he's a very cool looking figure. It'd be nice to see him in 6-inch form as well. I did a great job. A lot of the figures at the time had really wonky paint operations on the Black Series orange card back line, and he was one of the ones that came out great, and he's an awesome depiction. You know, I always wondered what Darth Plagueis looked like because we never had him in the movies, and this is the depiction that we got. So thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I look forward to doing some more unboxing, more reviews. Have a great day. Stay safe.